Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends action figure review. Another hot and spicy action figure for us to talk about today. This is my first Fantastic Four First Steps Marvel Legends figure review. We have Johnny Storm. Initially, I ordered this thinking that Human Torch was going to arrive at the same time, so I was going to do a 2-in-1 review, but nope. We're just looking at Johnny today. I have The Thing and Silver Surfer on the way. Later on, I'll be getting the rest of the Fantastic Four. And I'm pretty stoked about this movie, man. I really like the design right over here. I like the color choices. The packaging looks pretty sweet. I don't want to throw it away, but I should. Anyway, you can see Johnny on that side. Then you can see a taller image of Johnny over there. And then you can see Johnny Storm right there, semi-flamed on. And then I love how we have these different icons over here, which, by the way, I have to mention, look, I'm wearing a Spider-Man hat, I got a Deadpool Wolverine shirt, and I'm holding a Fantastic Four figure. Dude, all of these properties under the MCU umbrella. So exciting. I'm very excited about this. So anyway, on the top of the box, you get a Fantastic Four logo. Not much more at the bottom. So let's get to it and crack this thing open. And if you're trying to get your Marvel Legends, you can do so.
Big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
And here's Johnny Storm out of the packaging. And I gotta say, I like this suit design a lot. I really didn't expect to get black pinstripes for Human Torch, and I know this is technically a Johnny Storm figure, but, you know, seeing those vertical lines in the suit design just really makes me happy. And I think the suits overall look really good. I like the color choices over here. Now, I do wish I had the Human Torch figure, you know, to review with this at the same time, but whatever, dude. I'm happy to have those two flame effects. Oh, man, they make a world of difference. Anyway, let's get a closer look at all the accessories that come with the figure, and then we'll take a closer look at Johnny. So not a lot of accessories. You get the 2 sets of hands, you get the 2 flame effects, and then you get the watch, or this is the communicator, I guess? Looks like some kind of communicator, right? But this does fall off the wrist fairly easy when you're swapping the hands. So it goes on the left wrist right over here. That's where it's supposed to go. And you do get 2 sets of fist hands, which look pretty good with the sculpt right over here and the little bit of black paint you can see right over there. And then you get 2 wide open hands. This left side is more of a gripping hand, so you can hold stuff, and then this one's more of flaming holding hand. You can see that the pin right there changes the color of the glove to white at the very base of it. Not a huge deal. Then we get these flame effects that we've seen from Hasbro Marvel Legends a million times, but I think this is the first time we're actually seeing paint detail on these. These are typically a translucent color, and I think they've mixed in multiple colors with the translucent plastic, but I think this is the first time we're actually seeing this opaque yellow over the translucent orange, and I like it. I think it looks pretty neat. However, when I do shine light on it, it doesn't give me quite the effect that I want, but I still dig these. They're a little bit different, and damn it, this figure sorely needs them. And I know I don't have to explain this, but I always try to get the lighter part of the flame up higher, you know? Even though technically the way heat works is the brighter the color, the more the base of the flame you're at, right? So it probably should be something a little bit more like this, where you see orange on the top and more yellow at the bottom, right? I don't know. So at the time of shooting this, I clearly haven't seen the movie yet, but I feel like this Johnny Storm head looks close enough to what I remember from seeing in the trailers, and I would say this head sculpt looks pretty good. While pulling these images up, I did notice that the blue looks a little bit more saturated than the suit, and we'll get a closer look at that suit in a moment, but I like what they've done with the hair, and I kind of don't like what they've done with the hair over here. It doesn't look like the sculpt. This reminds me more of Jupiter than hair. I don't know. There's just something a little bit weird about the way those swirls are sculpted in there, and I feel like they could have used more of a yellow color than tan and brown. You know, he's very blonde, and I guess it looks realistic, like a realistic dirty blonde, but I don't know. It's not translating to me the way I'd hope it would, you know, especially on the back. You guys see the Jupiter, right? I don't know, kind of looks like Jupiter to me anyway. But the flesh tone looks pretty good. I do like it, and the eyes look pretty good right over there. He's got a little bit of a smirk, and yeah, you can see the blue is a little bit less saturated. I don't know. I might be nitpicking over here, but see, I don't know. What do you guys think? but I still like it. Like holding it in hand, I'm like, oh, it still looks cool to me. And it looks like they just barely got enough white paint over this blue plastic. You could see some blue creeping in, but I still feel like it's a decent amount of white paint over there. So, you know, I could understand how that could upset some people, but, you know, as I hold this, it doesn't look that bad. Well, on the edge right over there, you could see some white missing. And then you can see here's the back of it, and I really love the stripes. Oh, man, I just think it's so cool. It's such a little detail that I thought I'd never, ever see in a Human Torch. You know, those infamous black lines running up and down Human Torch. Never thought I'd see that, and then here they go, making a suit right here. And I really think it's cool that they have unique suits as well. I really love that about their designs, so I think that's pretty damn cool. Yeah, boots look pretty damn sweet as well. I'm liking that. You get peg holes and treads right over here. Then here's looking at the back of the figure. Not looking too shabby. Oh, and while I see a little bit of haze right here on this side of the 4 logo, I still really like how this came out. So I do like the articulation on this figure. I feel like lately with the movie figures, we haven't gotten the ball joint with hinge, but this time we have ball joint with hinge. So he can look down and he could look very far up for those flying poses. A little bit of pivoting right over here. No ball joint at the base of the neck, or if there is one, it's hindered by that long collar right there. No butterfly joints either, so that's a little bit of a bummer. You can get the shoulders, and this left shoulder is a little bit more stiff than his right shoulder, but you can get them moving just a tad above the 90-degree mark. So you could hear that one click down, that one doesn't. Rotates a full 360. You get your bicep swivel. You get your beautiful pinless double jointed elbows, and then all 4 wrists turn side to side and hinge up and down. Nice diaphragm cut right here, pivots, and it moves forward that much and moves back that much. Wish we had a similar joint at the waist. We just have a horizontal cut right here instead. I think that belt would have held, or at least hidden, a ball joint at the waist very nicely. Hips move outward all the way so he could do the splits. He's pretty much doing the splits. And then you have the hips can kick up just that far. Wish you could kick up more than that. Not back at all. Upper thigh cut. Beautiful pinless double jointed knees. What the hell is up with this? They do not have calf cuts on this figure, and it's just waiting to be done right there. It's such an easy thing to do. I'm so frustrated when Hasbro does not do this, especially with the sculpt already asking for it. What the hell? Anyway, ankles move down. They do move up, and he has beautiful ankle pivot. Now to measure out this Johnny Storm, you can see he is standing right at 6.5 inches tall. And for a powered down Johnny Storm figure comparison, you can see our MCU version next to our comic version right over there. And yeah, talk about a badass movie interpretation or adaptation from the comic right here with this one, right? Damn. And just for fun, here's a head swap, and then here's another head swap just for funsies until I get my actual MCU Human Torch figure. Then here's Johnny Storm next to my Galactus popcorn bucket, which is probably the closest thing we'll get to as an MCU Galactus action figure. And yeah, god damn it, I'm so upset that this eye is not nearly as bright as that eye. I tried fixing that yesterday and had no luck. But anyway, I did use this as a backdrop, and I do like using it as a backdrop, even if it doesn't make sense sometimes. It's still fun. Now, while I don't have a Fox Films Johnny Storm figure, I do have this MCU Captain America right over here. I'm not sure if this head goes with this figure exactly, but I really brought this figure out mostly to do a head swap because I am curious to see how this Chris Evans head fits on this new... Oh, it doesn't port in there properly. Oh, man. No, it doesn't fit on there. I really wanted to see a Chris Evans head on here, but that's not fitting. Ooh, I got another Chris Evans head right over here. Maybe this one fits? Oh, no, that one doesn't fit either. Damn, would have been nice to get that on there. Wait, maybe the bearded cap head. That one fits on there. Hey, so I could have this one with Deadpool, right? So, there you go. Hey, Chris, it looks too big, but at least got one of them to fit on there. And then here's Johnny Storm next to the Deadpool Wolverine movies, Deadpool, and the customized by Frecky Wolverine from Deadpool Wolverine. And hopefully this Johnny has a lot better luck than the Johnny from the movie that they're from. Then here's Johnny Storm next to our final swing Spider-Man, or red and blue suit Spider-Man from No Way Home. And I really hope we get to see these two buds together in a movie. I'm not expecting to see them, meeting each other in first steps, but hopefully in the future we do see Spider-Man and Johnny Storm team up. They're old school buds. They go way back. Fun fact, Johnny built the Spider-Mobile, or the Spider Buggy. Then here's Johnny Storm next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Hey, friend. You're gonna be an uncle! Oh, congratulations! Now don't get yourself killed like my Uncle Ben, okay? Because your nephew's gonna miss him for a very long time, and you're never gonna get him back, and I miss my Uncle Ben. I'm sorry. He should have been there to help. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed making it. If you liked the video, feel free to hit that like button. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you feel like participating in the perks, you can hit that join button. And I really like this Johnny Storm figure, but it's probably going to be my least favorite figure of the new Fantastic Four First Steps figures, just because I would rather have a flamed-on Johnny Storm than a flame-off Johnny Storm. And whenever I get a flame-off Johnny Storm figure, whether it's comic version or a movie version, that always feels like an accessory to the Human Torch flamed-on figure, you know? So this is definitely not a must-get. Maybe if I wasn't reviewing figures, I probably might pass on picking this up. But I gotta say, at the moment, I am happy to have it. It's my first look at one of the new Fantastic Four movie figures. So it's fun to look at. I like the design of it. I do have minor issues with it. You know, I think the blue is a little on the pale side. I feel like it should be a little bit more saturated than what we're seeing right over here. But, you know, I think the accessories work, and I'm probably going to have even more fun with this figure once I get the Human Torch figure in hand. So, you know, may not be for everybody, but for me, at the price point of $25, I'm going to give this Johnny Storm a sud rating of...
It's not too bad.
And I'd like to know what you guys think, so please let me know in the comment section below. If you want to see the latest Marvel news, you can find it all over at marvelousnews.com. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, or whatnot, links are all in the description below. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace!
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.